Okay, so today we're going to be doing a video on the Iraqi Dinar and how people have unrealistic expectations for it. It seems like people are in one of two camps, either, rah, go dinar, the revalue's right around the corner, it's happening tomorrow, and won't hear anything different. And then you got the other camp that seems to say, oh, it's a scam, it's not going to be worth anything, you're throwing your money away. There doesn't seem to be much middle ground. And my feeling about it personally, is a long shot investment? Yes, but investing in currencies isn't a crazy idea. That's what the Forex market is all about. You figure 6-8 months, maybe a year ago, the euro was down to about 119 per euro in relation to the U.S. dollar. Today it's up to about 146. That's an increase of about 23 cents. So even if you had $1,000 worth, which isn't a huge amount, you made $230 in less than a year. So there's one example of how you can make money off a currency, and that's a fairly common regular currency. Same thing if we look at the British pound. I don't recall exactly the date nor what the rate was, but probably within the last year and a half, the pound was down to the lowest it had been in, I want to say, over 25 years. A lot of people from the UK were buying property in the US because your money would go that much further, and in a sense you're kind of locking in your rate because once you buy that property, exchange rates aren't really going to affect that investment much. Today the English pound or the UK pound is right back up to 161, so a decent profit could have been made off that one as well. That's what I'm sure you've seen in the TV commercials. Maybe you've even opened up a practice account with Forex. That's what that's all about. So the idea that money can be made off currency isn't a crazy idea by any means. However, to think that your $1,000 investment is going to turn into a $3.5 or $4 million investment, in my mind, is just stupid. And this is coming from someone who personally is holding on to some Iraqi dinar as well. I actually bought mine. I don't even remember when. It's been so long. Probably a good 5 or 6 years ago, if not longer. I bought mine pretty soon after they got rid of the old Saddam Hussein notes and got the new Iraqi dinar. I don't recall the rate or exactly what I paid, but I want to say it was around $500 or $600. Even the market rate or the spot rate or the pegged rate or whatever you want to call it is around $880 today. So I've made a small profit of a couple $100. Although if anyone's buying Iraqi dinar today, unless you happen to be buying off someone else who's looking to unload it and can come to a kind of a mutually beneficial rate amongst yourselves, you're most likely going to pay, I would say, at the very least $1,000, $20, $1,050 per million, most likely closer to $1,200, $1,300, maybe even $1,400 per million. So you're going to wind up paying a couple $100 over the spot price to buy it, and then when the time comes to sell it, unless you have an agreement with the person or the company who you bought it from to where they guarantee to buy it back in at some specific rate, you're also going to get dinged, or you're also going to get hit and have to pay some kind of fee, or you're going to get less than the actual going exchange rate is for that. So, most likely you're going to have to make a pretty hefty profit before you are actually making money off of it. You just wanted to talk about how I was kind of surprised when you look on online message boards and forums. Even the slightest mention that somebody may not become a millionaire from this, and oh my gosh, the indignation, the angry responses. People tell you you're back that up by facts. Do you have a link to support that? People seem to get really angry when you kind of dash their hopes that this investment is going to make them a millionaire. I've been hearing people say for the last 5-6 years, every day someone's saying it's going to RV or revalue tomorrow. It's yet to happen. Also to these people pumping up the Iraqi dinar and talking about how great it is and it's going to happen tomorrow, they're going to get rich. The people that want something to back up people who kind of disagree with them, I'd like to know what they're using to kind of back up their assumption that they're going to get rich, because most likely the information they have came from I don't even know the websites, but probably some Dinar Vets or one of these websites where it's people are pumping up the dinar. And if you look at these websites, someone's been calling for the revalue tomorrow, next week, next month for the past 6 years. So that doesn't hold much weight. But I wanted to talk about a little bit why these thoughts that you're going to become an instant millionaire are unrealistic. And also kind of the way that I look at my dinar investment. I bought mine some years back. I don't remember what made me buy it. I got in on it before all the hype and everything. But the way I look at it like a lottery ticket. I guess not a traditional lottery ticket, traditional lottery ticket, you're throwing your money away. What you got? A 1 in a 550 million chance of winning. However, you know, sometimes on the radio you hear about these things where, you know, for $100 you buy a ticket to win $1 million home, and they only sell 500 tickets or something like that. So you got a 1 in 500 chance of winning this $1 million home. However, they normally also have prizes: a flat screen TV, a vacation, you know, 4 tickets to you know, the opening football game of the season, something like that. So, and I believe they normally say you got a 1 in 15 chance of winning some prize. So with something like that, you're not exactly throwing your money away. Are you guaranteed anything? No, but you got a pretty good shot at that jackpot, and you actually have a relatively decent shot at winning a smaller prize as well. That's kind of how I look at the dinar. I think there's a pretty good chance we might all make a small profit. I suppose a small sliver of a chance that you make a large profit. I don't think there's any chance of making $3 or $4 million. But yeah, I kind of look at it as a raffle ticket or a good chance at a lottery ticket or something like that. I'm, you know, fully prepared to lose my investment as well. I think it's interesting how people say this is a no-loss proposition. When we pull out of Iraq, potentially that country could go back into civil war and chaos, and their government and economy could fall apart, and you could be holding, you know, really expensive toilet paper. So for that reason, it's not a no-risk investment. Also, it's possible that you're never going to be able to sell back your dinars, and if you are going to sell them back, most likely, you know, you probably paid $1,200 for them. When someone goes to buy them back from you, you're probably be lucky to get $800. You know, if that were the case, you'd wind up losing a couple $100. So that also is not a low-risk investment. Now, as for why I'm not buying into this, we're all going to be instant millionaires with the dinar, here's a few reasons. Number one, the whole saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. What other investment has ever paid out? I don't even know what that works out to be, but say you bought your dinar for $1,000 and it goes up to $1 million. That's like a 200,000% return or something like that. It's just not realistic. You know, those things just don't play out like that. Number two, Iraq is a poor country, yes. I think the average income, I know it's under $5,000, something like $3,600 or $4,400. So even though the people are poor, I imagine amongst an extended family, it's not out of the realm of possibility that, you know, the average family maybe has $1,000 or an Iraqi dinar equivalent worth of about $1,000 in Iraqi dinar. So you're telling me when this RV happens, all these people who used to live hand to mouth and were really poor are going to instantly overnight become, you know, multimillionaires? Again, it just doesn't seem realistic. Number three, your economy has to, your economy and your GDP have to support, you know, the value of your currency. And I know people love to talk about how Iraq is rich with oil and they have all this oil, but they're years away from producing it at the levels they would need to produce it at to be a, you know, really wealthy country. You know, so that's another thing. Just, it's not going to happen that next week they're, you know, cost $3.5 or $4 US to buy one of their dollars. Let's see, the next point, people love comparing the Iraqi dinar to the Kuwaiti dinar. It's like comparing apples and oranges for several reasons. First and foremost, Kuwait has kind of it's much more of a stable country. They have a history of a stable government, whereas Iraq, you know, they don't know democracy. They had Saddam Hussein before, a dictator. Now they have no government. Their economy and their government is in chaos. You know, so that's one thing they have going against them that Kuwait didn't. Kuwait also had a lot more going economically for them. Iraq, yeah, they have the oil, so does Kuwait. However, Kuwait also has an agricultural economy as well. They're one of the leading producers of dates. They also had a lot of money in foreign investments, again, which Iraq did not. So that, you know, people love to compare the Kuwaiti dollar and the Iraqi dinar. I'm sorry, I guess it's the Kuwaiti dinar as well. You know, you just can't compare them. It's like comparing apples to oranges. So yeah, basically, that's what we laid out for you. You know, it's just stupid to think that your $1,000 investment is going to turn into $3 or $4 million. I don't doubt we can make some money. You know, maybe it's a couple hundred, maybe it's a few thousand, maybe if it's even a couple tens of thousands of dollars. But no way is the you know, an $800, $1,000 investment in the Iraqi dinar going to become a multi-million-dollar investment for the reasons we just stated. You know, look at it as a risky long shot lottery ticket. You know, with maybe a decent chance of making a return on it. So that's what we had to say about the Iraqi dinar today. Post your comments. Interested in hearing what you have to say. I'm sure I'll have some bashers saying that they're going to be rich.